Welcome to Calcutta Races Christmas meeting, second day, Saturday, 8 December 2018, race preview. We move on to the first race, which is the Lieutenant General Jamil Mahmood Memorial Cup, Division 1, to be run over a distance of 1200 meters. Number 1 will be Airlift. Airlift's last outing was this meeting in race number 30 over 1600 meters, where Airlift finished on 5th, and the winner of that race was Dancing Lord. And Airlift had one run before that. That was in race number 5 over 1400 meters, where Airlift finished on 3rd. Number 2 will be Tomorrow Forever. Tomorrow Forever has just had one start this season in race number 2 over 1200 meters, and that's the one that you need to watch out for. It was a really impressive winner. Last time out was Tomorrow Forever, won that race by three quarters of a length. Number 3 will be Moira. Moira's last outing was this season in race number 17 over 1200 meters, where Moira finished on 11th. And also in the same race we had number 9, My Lady Luck, who finished on 8th. The winner of that race was Vieragia, who came up with a dazzling run on the outside and went on to win that race. Number 4 will be Monaco. Monaco's had 2 starts this season. Last one being in race number 16 over 1200 meters, where Monaco, after much efforts, went on to finish on 4th. And the winner of that race was Oakbrook, an impressive winner, won that by 5.5 lengths. Number 5 will be Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy has just had one start this season in race number 34 over 1100 meters, where Wonder Boy, after some vigorous riding and a couple of reminders, finished on 11th. The winner of that race was Romanov. Number 6 will be Dark Gold. Dark Gold's last outing was quite an eye-catcher in race number 33 over 1100 meters, where Dark Gold travelled very wide of the track and eventually finished on 3rd, an eye-catching 3rd, I would say, and the winner of that race was Bidstone Hill. Number 7 will be Exclusive Power. Exclusive Power's last outing was in the monsoon meeting in race number 53 over 1100 meters. Before that, just one in over a distance of 1100 meters, went on to win that race, but in the last outing in race number 53 finished on 5th. The winner was Normie. Number 8 will be Bengal Tiger. Bengal Tiger's last outing was in race number 25 over 1600 meters this season, where Bengal Tiger, after some vigorous riding and amongst the front runners, eventually faded out to finish on 6th. Also in the same race we had number 13 Artist Royale, who finished on 11th. Winner of that race was Princess Elena. Number 11 will be Zavo. Zavo's last outing was in the monsoon meeting in race number 63 over 1400 meters, where Zavo finished on 10th, right at the back end of the field, and the winner of that race was Jordana. Number 12 will be Bonville. Bonville's last outing was in the monsoon meeting in race time 121 over 1100 meters, where Bonville finished on 8th, and the winner of that race was Praiser Gaze, who won that race pillar to post. Number 14 will be Shania Spet. Shania Spet's last outing was this season in race number 10 over 1100 meters, where Shania Spet couldn't do much and finished on 6th. Was Shania Spet, and the winner of that race was The Kiss, who was an impressive winner, won that race by 7 lengths. We move on to the second race, which will be the Lieutenant General Jamil Mahmood Memorial Cup Division 2, to be run over a distance of 1200 meters. Number 1 will be Coup de Gras. Coup de Gras has just had one start this season in race number 30 over 1600 meters, where Coup de Gras finished on 6th, and the winner of that race was Dancing Lord, who got it by a short neck right at the winning post. Number 2 will be Respect. Respect's last outing was this season in race number 26 over 1200 meters, where Respect, after much efforts, travelled very wide of the track in the final stages of the race and finished on 8th. And the winner of that race was Lumos. Number 3 will be Hail the Queen. Hail the Queen's last outing was this season in race number 14 over 1600 meters, where Hail the Queen finished right out of the back end of the field to finish on 9th. And the winner of that race was Saberjet, who won that race by 3 lengths. Number 4 will be Dakshesh. Dakshesh's last outing was this season in race number 2 over 1200 meters, where Dakshesh was leading the pack till the final stages of the race, but eventually faded out in the last 100 meters and went on to finish on 6th. Was Dakshesh. Also in the same race we had number 12, that is Baglioni, finished on 13th. The winner of that race was Tomorrow Forever. Number 5 will be City Heights. City Heights' last outing was this season in race number 25 over 1600 meters, where City Heights finished 14th and almost ran detached. Was City Heights. The winner of that race was Princess Elena. Number 6 will be Crystal Ball. Crystal Ball's last outing was in the monsoon meeting in race number 122, where Crystal Ball finished on 8th, and the winner of that race was Perfect Balance, who got that race by about a long neck. Number 7 will be Artificial. Artificial's had 3 starts this season, finished on board the first 2 outings. The last outing was not an impressive one in race number 33 over 1100 meters, where Artificial finished on 7th, and the winner of that race was Bit Stonehill, who got that from a start to finish mission. Number 8 will be Fight of Honor. Fight of Honor's last outing was in the monsoon meeting in race number 63 over 1400 meters, and Fight of Honor turned into the straight and finished very wide of the track, almost detached from the field, where finished on 11th. Winner of that race was Jordana. Number 10 will be Chitrakala. Chitrakala's last outing was this season in race number 17 over 1200 meters, where Chitrakala came up with a good run and finished on 2nd. Was Chitrakala. The winner of that race was Vieraggio. Number 11 will be Midnight Magic. Midnight Magic's last outing was this season in race number 16 over 1200 meters, where Midnight Magic finished on 7th. Winner of that race was Oak Brook. Number 13 will be Glorious Run. Glorious Run's last outing was in the monsoon meeting in race number 128 over 1400 meters, where Glorious Run finished 11th, and the winner of that race was Hudson. Number 14 will be Tangaluma. Tangaluma's just had 1 start this season in race number 10 over 1100 meters, where Tangaluma finished 8th. The winner of that race was the Kiss, who ran away and went on to win that race by about 7 lengths. We move on to the 3rd race, which is the Army Service Corps ASC Cup. Number 1 will be Raksharki. Raksharki just had 1 start this season in race number 13 over 1600 meters, and it was quite an impressive start. Came up with a very late run, was Raksharki, and finished 2nd behind the winner. That was Mahali. And also in the same race we had number 2 Lochinwa, who finished on 7th. Number 4 Devotion, who finished on 5th. And number 12, that was Flying Cloud, who finished on an eye-catching 4th. Number 3 will be Prince of Art. Prince of Arts' last outing was this season in race number 32 over 1400 meters, where after much efforts, Prince of Art finished 9th, and the winner of that race was Kantai, who won that race by about 3/4 of a length. Number 5 will be Millennium Glory. Millennium Glory's last outing was in race number 27 this season over 1200 meters, where Millennium Glory was ridden by David Allen, and this time out also by David Allen, but last time Millennium Glory couldn't get much and finished on 8th was Millennium Glory. Same race we had number 6 Summerhill, who finished on 5th. Also in the same race we had number 9, that is Bang Bang, finished on 10th. The winner of that race was Born to Win. Number 7 will be Fiorel. Fiorel's last outing was in the monsoon meeting in race number 132 over 2,000 meters, where Fiorel came up with a late dash and went on to win that race by about 2 lengths, beating Atletico. Number 8 will be Alisa. Alisa is the one that been knocking on the door and we need to watch out for. Her last outing being this season in race number 30 over 1600 meters, where Alisa was leading the pack but eventually got beaten right at the post by Dancing Lord by about short neck. And also in the same race we had number 11, that is Zephyr, who finished on 9th. Number 10 will be Outrider. Outriders had one start this season in race number 9 over 1200 meters, where Outrider finished 14th out of 14 and was planted at the starting gates was Outrider. We move on to the 4th race, which is the Eastern Command Cup, to be run over a distance of 2,000 meters. Number 1 will be No More Politics. No More Politics' last outing was this season in race number 19 over 1,600 meters, where No More Politics finished on 10th. Also in the same race, we had number 4, Midnight Phantom, who finished on 7th, and number 6, that was Cold Frontier, who finished on 5th, and number 7, Dixie Diamond, who finished on 8th, and number 9, Aldero, who finished on 6th. But the winner of that race was Shivansh, who won that race by 3 1/4 lengths. Number 2 will be Pugnacious. Pugnacious' last outing was this season in race number 28 over 1200 meters, has already had 3 starts and finished off the board in all its 3 starts. Last one finished on 6th. The winner of that race was Denny Crane. Number 5 will be Fantasia. Fantasia's last outing was in the monsoon meeting in race number 118 over 2,000 meters, where Fantasia, after much efforts, finished on 4th. The winner of that race was Pothos, who got it at the neck by a neck at the post. Number 8 will be Jester. Jester's had one start this season in race number 6 over 1,400 meters, where Jester finished right at the back end of the field to finish on 11th. And the winner of that race was Eastern Star, who won that race by about half a length. Number 10 will be Far Sight. Multi-dimensional out of Farfeshina is Far Sight. Last outing being this season in race number 30 over 1,600 meters, and was not an impressive run by Far Sight. Finished on 8th. The winner of that race was Dancing Lord. We move on to the 6th race, which is the Indian Gold Wars, to be run over a distance of 1,200 meters for horses 4 years old and over. Number 1 will be Castle Bridge. Castle Bridge has had one start this season in race number 21 over 1,400 meters, and it was not an impressive start at all by Castle Bridge. And being a firm favorite, there was Castle Bridge, finished on 6th. Also in the same race, we had number 2, Multitude, who came up with a late dash as always and just about lost that race. Finishing on 2nd was Multitude by about a long neck. And also in the same race, we had number 3, Amorous White, who finished on 4th. Number 4, Governor General, the eventual winner of that race. And number 5, Brahmachari, who finished on 5th. Number 6 will be Copernicus. Copernicus has had one start this season in race number 28 over 1200 meters. After much efforts and travelling wide in the final stages of the race, Copernicus couldn't finish on right on the board and finished on 4th was Copernicus. Winner of that race was Denny Crane. We move on to the 7th race, which is the second classic of the season, the Calcutta 2000 Guineas 2018 Grade 2, to be run over a distance of 1600 meters. Number 1 will be Eastern Star. Eastern Star's last outing being this season in race number 6 over 1400 meters, where Eastern Star went on to win that race by about a half a length and beating Punjabi Girl. And Eastern Star is surely going to be knocking on the door today. Number 2 will be Shivansh. Shivansh is the one that we've all been waiting for, and we need to see what Shivansh does today in the 2000 Guineas, last outing being this season after winning the Monsoon Derby. Went on to win that race over a mile by 3 1/4 lengths by beating Splash Proof. Number 3 will be Sniper. Sniper is again coming back to its form. Last outing being in race number 20 over 1400 meters. Travelled wide and after much efforts came out and won that race by about a length by beating Sheer Force. Number 5 will be Adjudicate. Adjudicate's already had 2 starts this season. First one being over 1400 meters, were finished on 2nd, and last outing being in the 1000 Guineas by been ridden by David Allen, again by David Allen this time out, won that race by about 6 1/4 lengths, and this is the only filly in the field. We move on to the 8th race, which is the relevance handicap. Number 1 will be Rolly Polly. Rolly Polly's last outing being in race number 107 over 1400 meters, where Rolly Polly finished on 4th. And the winner of that race was Prince of Heart. Number 2 will be Mrs. Willy-Nilly. Mrs. Willy-Nilly's last outing being this season, just had 1 start in race number 7 over 1400 meters. After much efforts, was amongst the front runners, but a faraway 3rd finished on was Mrs. Willy-Nilly. Also in the same race, we had number 4 Gramercy Park, who finished right at the back end of the field to finish on 13th. Winner of that race was Artiste Royale. Number 3 will be Zaragoza. Zaragoza's last outing being this season in race number 34, 1100 meters, where Zaragoza finished on 13th, and the winner of that race was Romanov. Number 5 will be Gabon. Gabon's last outing being this season the only start in race number 15 over 1600 meters, where Gabon finished on 10th. Also in the same race we had number 9 Constance, who finished on 11th, and the winner of that race was Porus. Number 6 will be the 6 Seal. The 6 Seal's been quite unlucky in its only start this season in race number 24 over 1100 meters. Had all the chance to win that race, but after a lot of interference in the final stages of the race, the 6 Seal was declared disqualified eventually. And also in the same race we had number 13, that was Glamorous Glory, who finished on 4th. Was eventually placed 5th by the judge, but awarded 4th. The winner of that race was Viserion. Then will be Gisba. Gisba's last outing was this season in race number 23 over 1100 meters, where Gisba travelled very wide in the final stages of the race and finished on 6th. Also in the same race we had number 11, that is Dark Angel, who finished on 4th, and number 12 was Zaina, who finished on 2nd. And the winner of that race was I, Me and Myself. Number 8 will be Major Colors. Major Colours' last outing being this season in race number 8 over 1200 meters. After much efforts and a couple of reminders, Major Colours managed to finish on 4th. Winner of that race was Viserion. Number 10 will be Spanky. Spanky's had one start this season in race number 1 over 1100 meters, where Spanky finished on 9th, and the winner of that race was I, Me and Myself, who was a bit erratic in the final stage of the race but managed to hold on and win that race by 2 lengths. Number 14 will be Mustang. Mustangs had 2 starts this season. First outing finished on 3rd, and last outing being in race number 31 over 1400 meters. After much efforts, Mustang finished on 5th, and the winner of that race was Pelion, who won that in a start-to-finish essay, pillar to post. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time.